All right, let's get this started. Here's the trading weekly watch list for next week. It's the beginning of a new month, February, and we had some crazy action to go through. I mean, we have to start with GameStop here. Crazy, unbelievable short squeeze move. I didn't even bother touching it. I have no leverage on any of these type of moves. I have no plays. Can't manage my risk properly, so I unfortunately had just been sitting back and watching these go. GME, AMC, BB, airlines, man, just unbelievable moves. And I think the best part about this is that they're holding up really well. I expected a pump and a dump, and maybe the dump's going to come, but so far, closing in the top range here, I mean, this looks pretty good. If it wasn't for the fact that we were making 30% moves, in a few minutes, I would look to enter, but not my cup of tea, unfortunately. Kudos to everyone that's scored millions off of this. All right, let's take a look at the indices. So 2 weeks back, we were talking about potentially doing a pullback since we closed below the 20-day moving average on this Friday here. Instead, we popped. But the key thing when we popped was demand really didn't come in. I mean, we popped one day and then we had small little bars and we tried to go a little bit, but we couldn't get these big green bars that we typically see. Well, not even this, but back here, bigger green bars that we see. So there's some signs, there's some weakness amongst names. The percent of stocks over the 40-day period, the daily period, it was starting to slip ahead of the Qs and the SPY, sort of giving you an indication. You can see it's sort of starting to roll over here, and then the bigger roll off the past few days. So where are we going right now? I think we had some levels of support here. It could, potentially pull back to the 50-day moving average here. That'd be nice. Honestly, I want to see a further pullback to this level around the 290, 300 level. I don't think we'll get there, but that would set up some beautiful looking pullback charts here. But for now, if we're below the 20-day moving average, let's just continue to see how that plays out. Below it, be tactical. Don't have as many positions on. I have a few positions on, but um, not as many as we're trending. So we're below the 20-day. See if we can hold the 50-day, or see if we get a red to green move. We can be opening pretty deep in the red Monday morning at maybe around the 50-day, and then we reverse course. So keep an eye out for that. But it looks like this trend may be over. So what happens after that? We'll have to wait and see. SPY, a little bit different story here. SPY broke the trend, tried to recapture the 20-day, failed, and is already at the 50-day and closed below the 50-day with some pretty good volume. So maybe I have to revisit my synopsis on Qs. Maybe we do a little bit of a deeper pullback. Pullbacks, I usually take a look at fibs. That's an option. So 50% is around this area. What we have around maybe 354 area-ish. Or nowadays I'd probably just take a look at volume at price, and there's some few levels here that'd be nice to come down to. Come down, maybe go below, hang out a little bit, and then reverse course. Good way to tell if we start to reverse course is the 9 EMA. So if we pull back to COVID lows, watch for the 9 EMA to continually get rejected, held once, failed, gapped over, and gapped over the 20-day, came back and held a 9. That's kind of what you want to see for a trend change. Here we did hold the 9, but it was our first attempt. Failed. I think we held here, failed, held, but then failed. So watch for the 9 EMA to give us indication for potentially an uptrend back. So a few names that I'm looking at. Sorry about that. A few names that I'm looking at here, not too many, but we have U, which has earnings. There you go. Nice tight consolidation here. We can probably just hide all the drawings. U does have earnings by the end of the week, so maybe we can get a pre-earnings move here. These are all just quick 1 day, 2 day type of trades here, but we're looking at above these highs as an entry and then below these lows as a stop loss. Fubo, same thing here. I think earnings is February 4th. Inside day, hanging around on these top of the area, or sorry, the top of the trading range here. Watch for a continuation. At least maybe you get to this pivot 54. That could be a trade. Keep in mind what your risk reward is and see if it's usable. VRT. So VRT is a nice one. It popped, pulled back, consolidating, and it's actually consolidating right above the 9 EMA. So if we want trend continuation, we can watch for it to go over this pivot here around the 2040 with a stop at around this low of 1940. So that's a play. MRVI closed at all-time highs. This one again could just be a quick trade. Watch for a red to green move or an inside day setting up for a breakout of the range. VXRT. This one was a big happy winner for me on Friday. And if I pull back here, we're in a little bit of a pocket here, so we can get right through all these levels and up into the $15 level. So maybe watch for an inside day and then another trading range there where you can set your stop losses and entries from. Next one thing you'll notice is that if you go do your scans, diagnostics and research and medical devices are the ones that are hot right now. A 4% day on the Friday red day for DHR. Watch for it to take out this 240 level. I don't have this as high priority for me just because my stop is a little bit difficult to place. I was thinking that I can maybe place it around here, but I think I'm hoping for a day or two of consolidation so I can get a better idea of where to place my stop here. So, but looking pretty strong there, DHR. Next one, Google. Google has earnings on Tuesday, I believe. Yes, the 2nd. So maybe you can see a reversal candle here, especially if the market goes red to green. You can maybe see a little bit of a intraday trade here, but not much there. SC trying to hold this 20-day, came all the way down to retest this breakout level, pivoted, closed above the 20-day, and it looks like we may have closed right below the 20-day on Friday, but an inside candle. So we do have a trading range, and what I mean by that, you have the high and low of the day, and you can even use the low of the previous day. So you can create a range based off of that and trade off of that. But SC holding somewhat well the past few days, so keep an eye out for that one. Dropbox, this is one I'm actually kind of excited for here. So if we place some anchored VWAPs, notice that we're right in that area, right in that anchored VWAP area. So I'm actually watching for the 20-day to hold here, and then if we can get over the $23 range, then I will put a entry here with maybe a stop below. I'll have to think if I want to do Friday's low or the low in this range right here, depending on how the market's holding up. Will dictate that, and it'll dictate how many shares I take. But yeah, Dropbox looks good. I like it. Datadog. Let's see when earnings are. I think I looked this up last time. February 11th. So we have a few days. We want to do a pre-earnings move here. Nice little trading range we have here. Came down, held the 50-day, pivoted over. Based on volume at price, looks like there's some levels of resistance here. So if we can get over the 105 level, you can enter for new highs with a stop under 96-ish. All right, what else we got? CHWY. CHWY just nice, moved over to new highs, consolidated, is back to the 20-day. Watch for pivot. So watch for maybe this high right here on 107 to be taken out, and then maybe we can create new highs here. RVMD, I was actually in this, got stopped out for a loss. Eyeing this one for another trade here. I think I'll have to see these levels clear in this 44, 45 area before you'll see me get involved again. OSTK, I did like this one until Friday afternoon. I think that's when I sort of, my interest sort of waned a little bit, but I was hoping for the anchored VWAP that I just placed at this gap up to hold, and I think it didn't. I'd have to take a look at the intraday, but if we could maybe dip under and regain right above the VWAP and continue upwards, then we can see a pretty big move here. But this may end up consolidating back to the 20-day. I mean, we're pretty extended from it, so. But one to keep an eye out for. Crowd, just sideways movement here. I don't know when earnings is. I can look it up real quick. March 18th, so we got quite some time. I do think this was an earnings breakout, one of these here, so that's probably explains it. We'll see if this one can continue on its sideways track, and then the 50-day and the 20-day start acting as more bigger supports here. Another software name, same exact situation, MDB. A little bit of a range here. So let's watch for the 50-day to start acting as support, and then the 20-day start curling up. Next one, Team has had earnings already, closed above the 20-day. I'd like to see it get above 237 before I enter, but my risk, I'm having a little bit of a hard time figuring out where to place my stop loss. So my risk to reward ratio is a little off here, so I'd like to watch this one consolidate first before I pick an area to enter. And last one, SMAR, another software name. Looks pretty similar to Crowd and MDB, but nice sideways range here. It's above, nice big candle here on above volume here for SMAR, and then we held on Friday. If we can take out these higher levels, you can see me enter. So higher level of 72.60-ish with maybe a stop below 68. So about a $4 risk there for potentially a 840. So good 2-to-1 ratio there for reward to risk. So that's all I had. It's a quick one here, not as much going. There are quite a few smaller names that are running against the market, but be nimble, make sure you're comfortable with the risk you're putting on, and good luck trading.